All right, we're back. Morse Code Podcast. Dan Morse, Sopee pre-app, Cambodian Prince himself. Sopee, how are you, man? Good evening.
Doing good. No
Good.
concerts.
No concerts. Good. Let's keep it that way. I don't want to talk about concerts. I want to get right into it, right down to business. We are
Brass tacks.
At the time of the recording, we are through our first weekend of the NBA return. I figured we'd start there. We do have a pretty fully loaded episode for you. We do have a cool guest coming on later. Someone else that Sopee was able to get on, but a mutual friend between the two of us. Real quick, it could go one of two ways. It honestly could, in some people's mind, be the biggest guest we've ever had.
It really could. And people are going to assume that that's like us bullshitting, but we're being 100% serious.
It is crazy because, like, I don't really know the context of this, and I guess it'll make sense if you continue to keep listening and get to the interview portion, probably 20 minutes from now. But it's like, it's someone who's a viral sensation, but also like someone we know personally. So it's like we don't see him that way.
No,
it's our friend. But once you get to know him, once you get to see who it is we're talking about, I don't know. I guess you'll see what we mean then. But good dude overall. Can't wait to have him on later. But we wanted to at least go. We wanted to at least take some time between the two of us to kind of put out some thoughts on the opening weekend in NBA. We've been talking about for a while. I mean, we did our NBA's Back podcast. I was looking at it this morning. I think it was honestly like 10 episodes ago or something like that. It was quite some time. And at the time of this recording, it's Sunday, August 2nd in the evening. The Celtics game just wrapped up pretty recently, their second game over the weekend. Let's start there. I don't know. Do you want to start with Friday's game against the Bucks, or do you have some initial thoughts from this game against the Blazers that just wrapped up? Fucking crazy game, by the way.
Yeah, both of them were
games.
super entertaining.
Yes.
Which I was pleasantly surprised by. I said this on Twitter.
All the games have been. There really hasn't been a bad game. Outside the games that no one's watching, there hasn't been a bad primetime game.
Yes, outside of the shitty games, there hasn't been a
I will say this, full transparency, at the time of this recording, Kings Magic, I think, is mid-second quarter right now. So if that turns out to be a triple overtime ESPN Classic thriller, I will go live on Instagram and literally bite my tongue. But until that time,
I'm going to be pissed. And I'm going to kick. You can bite your tongue. I'm going to kick myself.
Content is king. The Causeway Street Boys told us themselves last week. You want to build a following, you need the content. So
you sure do.
Anyway,
thoughts? First take is that the product overall, like not the specific games themselves, but the product has been surprisingly really good in terms of. I was iffy a little bit about the crowd noise, but then I pretty much got used to it. The only thing that I noticed that today, which I also put online, was that if you watched between the NBC Sports Boston feed and then you switched over to the ABC feed, the national TV, it was a million times different.
Yeah, I didn't switch, but I saw that.
Yeah, so basically on NBC Boston, the color is like the display is a little darker. That's fine. But you kept hearing, which channel did you watch it on?
ABC. Mike Green.
So on NBC, color was whatever. But the sound, I don't know if it's the way that they try to filter out the sound. It sounded like there was like a hailstorm or just reindeer on my roof the entire game. And I was like, if that's them trying to make it sound like it's defensive shuffling and people just moving their feet, I was like, I think the squeaky shoes is enough, which already that's kind of excessive. But then I switched over to ABC and the crowd noise was louder in terms of actually hearing the crowd. I feel like NBC tried to muffle like whatever is the fake crowd volume. And then there was none of that animal stampede on my roof going on, which that was very much appreciated. And the color was better. So I'm curious if anyone else noticed that too.
Well, that was my question. So, and that made me think. So the crowd noise and everything, is that being generated by the channel and the production or by the actual stadium or
the actual
on the court? Okay, that's what I thought. But that's what I wanted to make sure.
I think that there's a way for the individual channel to like try to filter it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I listened to ABC today. Friday night, the Bucks game, I think I was on NBC local, which all things considered should be I don't know, like less of a production value than the main one, the national broadcast. But I will say this, dude, I'm telling you, like there were times in the middle of that game, I forgot there wasn't a crowd there. Like, I think it's been done pretty well. And I think it's been done way better. And I'm with you. I wasn't sure. They said we're going to use artificial crowd noise. I didn't really know what that meant. It definitely makes a difference, because I was thinking like silent, silent, silent. A 3-pointer goes in and it's like someone hits a button. You know what I mean? And it's like this fake noise that comes in. They do a pretty good job of keeping. They almost like it's like a constant crowd noise, and you notice it's there, and I think it helps. So yeah, I think overall it's been really well. I think NBA. I think we've talked about this before. The difference between like baseball and the NBA. NBA also, it almost looks like the cameras are positioned like a 2K game. Like they do it the right way, where. And it's crazy. Like I wish I had the game on right now. Like I almost feel like they have the camera slightly at a different lower angle, so you don't see as much of the crowd anyway. Well, plus the benches are elevated too, so you see mostly the teams.
I think they I think they also eliminated, like, they minimize how much of the angle you get from underneath the hoop when someone's shooting a free throw. So you don't see like
great point.
The electronic whatever screens. Let me ask you this. What do you think the players think of the crowd noise? Because like as a TV viewer, I actually felt like it helped or hurt the momentum depending on like which team you're rooting for.
Definitely.
Because like when they were playing the Bucks, I was like, oh my God, it actually feels like there's fucking 20,000 people.
We're in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
100%. And I thought that's a funny point, because I thought about this too. I thought there has to be rules as far as what you can do. Because if you're technically the home team, like what's stopping you from just cranking the volume up to a ridiculous level? Like when like Giannis is at the free throw line, or you know what I mean? Like they have to have rules on what you can do. Like how do they know what they're adjusting the volume to? How do they know, like, you know, this is what, I assume they're basing it off of, like, this is what we think it would sound like at this time.
One thing that I thought was funny was that,
like, what if they just like blasted like random noises like while you're going to like shoot a free throw?
Well, kind of in the same vein, I guess someone shot an air ball and they have an air ball chant as if the crowd was doing that. So it's like,
nice.
What's stopping them from having like individual people yelling out in the crowd noise? Like, Tatum sucks, or like, like, I don't know.
And I thought that's what they would do with the individual. And we can go into this too. And I do want to go into the actual gameplay, but just to kind of wrap it up, I guess I'll ask you, what are your thoughts on, because I didn't know about this coming into the season, like the individual, like people, like, I guess streaming into the game, like the crowd, you know what I mean? Like the fans in the stands.
Oh, I don't mind that. I mean, I'm not really looking at it all that much, and it's cool. But when you have celebrities like Paul Pierce in it today, that was hilarious.
Sitting next to Jason Tatum's kid.
Yeah, and then
and I think like, Kemba's wife or mother was there too.
At one point, he'd be cheering, and the next point, he was like laying down on his couch, pissed at the game.
That's what I mean. And I tweeted about this. I wonder what that consists of. A, how you get the opportunity to do that. I don't know if it's season ticket holders, if it's a lottery, if it's whatever. And B, does that mean you have to watch the game like on your phone or like on your computer?
I may have some input, like an actual answer. Shout out to one of our shout out to one of our devoted listeners, one of our good friends, Wesley Jordan, who is a season ticket holder with the Celtics. And he was telling me that they sent him an email saying, if you want to like be a part of this, send us a 5-second video clip or something. So I want to say that maybe it's just for like the regular fans and season ticket holders. That's how it is. And it's almost like a GIF that just keeps playing on loop. And with like a celebrity, maybe they just get different access. And it's like, all right, Paul, I mean, if you want to have the camera trained on you for 2 hours, have at it. Just
so everyone else
pick your nose in the middle of this.
Yeah. So the other people weren't live like the whole time?
I don't think so.
I mean, I didn't notice.
I don't think so. And that would be really weird. That seems like an invasion of privacy to be like,
I agree.
Yeah, if you want to do this, you're going to have to do this for 2 hours.
Well, that's what I mean. Like everyone's watching you for 2 hours. It's like, what if I want to get up and leave? What if I want to have it? I didn't see anyone like drinking or eating. I don't know. What if my fucking Wi-Fi cuts out? Like, interesting. But, oops, sorry. Quick side note. We need to talk to that person and we need to get on the screen.
Oh, I would love to do that.
I will buy, I don't know if I'm ready to go this far, but I consider buying a ticket to do that.
Yeah, I would too. Like, and I wonder, how do they approve?
Yeah, right. Because there's what, maybe 30 people? 50 tops?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Sucks for the people on the other side of the camera. That's a complete waste of a ticket. It would be, I guess, I don't know. Like, it would, we've talked about this before, just stupid shit that would be cool. Like dunking on like a football player at college. It would kind of be cool just to be there. Because what's like the cliche thing? Seriously. When you get tickets to a game, what's like the cliche thing? You get a text from like your parents, your grandparents. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know, I'll watch the game, see if I can see you.
Where are you sitting?
That's just never gonna fucking happen. Yeah, I'm in the fucking balcony. You're not gonna see me. Now you actually could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had Paul Pierce's seat, I'm on national television for 2 hours. We just hold a Morse code podcast sign up the whole time. What are they gonna throw us out? Dude, they should do that for WWE. Like, remember, like people holding signs. Like, it's just you have a contest. Whoever has the best sign wins. I know Vince McMahon subscribes to our YouTube channel and our Instagram page. I can't tell who listens every time, but Vince, I assume you're listening. Free idea, take it, go with it. But
I think Shane's the one who subscribes, and then he told me that he occasionally shares with Vince.
Stephanie is the one who blocked us.
Yeah.
And Linda's the one who subscribes to our OnlyFans account.
Yeah. And let's not even get into Owen Hart's wife.
Yeah. I seriously, let's not get into that. So overall,
shout out Jad.
Yeah, I think we can agree. The production's been better than I thought. Let's get into the games. So let's start with the Celtics. Let's start with today's game, Sunday's game against the Blazers. We'll talk about Friday later. I'm already over Friday's game.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I think today's game was good for a number of reasons, and there were some bad things, obviously. Let's start with Jason Tatum. And I posted on the Instagram account earlier. I think I was pretty hard on Jason Tatum after Friday night's game, but I'll ask you. I mean, I'm trying to think back. I genuinely think that was one of the worst games I've ever seen an all-star play from beginning to end.
The only game that I can think of that is like relatively similar, I can't think of the specific game, but the player was Jason Tatum, where he's done that before.
Not great. Yeah.
Not a trend that you like to see.
Certainly not. 2 for 8. And again, I know we're not stat guys, but stats mean something. 2 for 18 from the field. And I totally forgot one of his field goals or points or whatever was that ridiculous like tip-in call from the Bucks. Shouldn't have even counted. It was just everything else. I can get over people have bad shooting games. Like I can get over that. Mm-hmm. Granted, that's a terrible shooting game for your star. Coming off potentially one of the best months a 22-year-old kid's ever had in February.
That's also a lot of shots to be like, I didn't realize it until like attempt number 17 that I just didn't have it tonight.
And that's
why I ended up with 18.
He's a type of player who, you know, like Kobe would have these games. Kobe would have 20 points on 60 shot attempts. Mm-hmm. Steph, the same thing. You know, if I'm coaching Steph and he's 0 for 8 from 3, I still want him taking threes in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with that part. It was just everything else. A lot of intangibles. He just looked sloppy. He looked unconfident with what he was doing, I guess understandably. What else? And then like I said as well over the weekend, any other game, I wouldn't look this much into it, but it's just like the icing on the cake was that defensive play with Giannis, where he just made an aggressive play going for a steal. That was a 2K play. When you hit X, hit the steal button, the reach, and then get fucking sideswiped and blown by. It's like, that just was like, that's when I was like, okay, this isn't your night. So, and again, we could have won that game, but it's just like, that was the worst case scenario by far for Jason Tatum coming out of this.
It was bad. It wasn't
great.
One thing that really bothers me when he has games like that is that, like you said, he doesn't look confident. And number two, he looks really frustrated, and his body language isn't great. And I'm not
Good call.
bilingual.
Body
But I
language is
do
the right.
understand body language. I
Yeah,
would assume you do as well.
right. I'm bilingual, English and body language, and but again, he's a kid, and I
Yeah.
get that, and you know what I mean. It's like this whole, I almost said off season, but this whole quarantine thing. Everybody was talking about Jason Tatum. This is the guy. You know, there's all these 25 under 25 lists coming out and all this shit, and you know, and I think it's justly so. I think he's phenomenal. He's trending in an outstanding direction, but I don't know. Anyway, it was a bad game. I couldn't, but as soon as the game ended, not as soon as the game ended, like the next day, I was like, you know what? The best news is we have a game coming up in less than 48 hours against a team that is, like I saw you say earlier, they just don't play defense. Tatum can cook on this team all day. And he did, especially early on. He did. He got a haircut. Best thing he ever did. MVH, most valuable haircut. And, you know, I think he looked great this afternoon.
It's the exact same thing that they say about croquet that they say about basketball. Like you always have the next day. So yeah, I agree. The only part that bothered me about his game today was a frustration part again, where he didn't get a call. So he looked at the referee. He lost the ball and he thought he got fouled. So he looked at the referee, threw his hands up in the air. Ref was like, "Fuck off, keep playing."
When was that?
I think it was the third quarter.
Okay, because
I'm in the middle of them getting destroyed.
I'm going to say this real quick. I had my son by myself today. So I strategically put him down for a nap around if he takes an afternoon nap, he either doesn't nap at all or it's 2 hours like that. So I put him down around 3. I was like, all right, buddy, I could really use a good nap today. Good night. Put him down. And he went right out. No problem. So I watched, he's a team player. I watched the first half, you know, pretty consistently. Again, we were fucking 25. And then third quarter, he woke up. Okay, put on Barney for a little bit. I checked my phone. It's an 8-point game, I think, going into the fourth. I was like, all right, we'll finish this cliffhanger episode later. I got to put this back on. So I might have missed a little bit. But, no, I think it looked great in the first half. The body language is going to be there. He's, like I said, I still think a lot of that comes with being a young kid being put into a leadership position.
Well, so what happened was...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. What happened?
No, just to finish that real quick is that, so he loses the ball. He turns around, gets pissed. The play goes on, and he thought that, like, the Blazers were completely headed down the other side of the court. They really didn't, or they really weren't. So Dame Lillard dives to save the ball before going out of bounds. And I was like, that's like the juxtaposition right there, is that you see Jason Tatum, budding star, he's on his way there, versus Damian Lillard, who I've never been one to say is like, oh, not only is he a superstar, but he's willing to put his body on the line. But in that one play, at least, it was like, here's one guy who's complaining to the refs and thought that the play wasn't worth continuing playing. And then another guy who continued playing, saved the possession for his team. And I was just like, not a good look, dude. Like,
not at all.
But you're right. He's still really young. And
he is. And the quick side note, though, on Dame, because Portland, I mean, we live in New England. Portland's the other side of the country. I don't watch many Portland Trail Blazers basketball games. Every time I watch one, though, dude, Dame is a dog. Like, Dame is the real deal. I like, Dame is filthy. He
outside
of
Steph, I think he's my favorite non-Celtic.
Bro,
he's awesome to watch.
Dame is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't have a great time watching him today in, like, the fourth quarter.
Not the best.
Dude, Dame is that dude. Like, every time. He is... And again, I don't know if he's underrated, because I know people still talk about Dame up there. I think he's definitely top 10 player in the NBA. But every time I watch Dame, dude, he doesn't disappoint.
During the NBC broadcast, they actually said, real quick, Mike Gorman was like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was a stretch earlier in the season where in 3 games consecutively, Damian Lillard had 153 points.
That's absurd.
That's an average of 51 a game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a lot of points.
That's respect. That's a lot of points.
Kind of greedy.
Points in a short amount of time. But yeah, so let's do this, 'cause I know we're getting into our guests soon. Let's try to keep it this way. So I guess I'll go first, but I just wanted to highlight some of the good things I thought I saw from the Celtics. Mostly probably today, I guess, because today was a lot better than Friday. But one thing I'll say, I just made some quick notes. So I do think Tatum is back. I know it's only 2 games, but the only thing that does kind of scare me is I don't know if it's going to be a trend or a pattern where he doesn't show up in big games against the top tier teams. But I don't think that's the case, because I think that I expected some rustiness out of that first game, as most people did. I didn't expect it to be that bad, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and give him a few more games to see where we're at. Next thing I'll say is we haven't really talked about Kemba yet. Kemba's been on a minutes restriction, but the minutes Kemba's been playing, I thought he's looked excellent.
He's been like, all right, I got 10 minutes. Okay, I'm putting up every shot.
Like, we're going back to UConn cardiac Kemba. I'm ready to go. Like,
yeah, he's
from a
killing
leadership perspective too.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of body language, on the court, I think Kemba is the leader this team needs. He's the most veteran player on the team. And I'm curious to see what it looks like once we get into the playoffs. If he can get back to a, no minutes restriction, you're free to go. Tatum, Brown, and Kemba on the court. Kemba kind of being that, I guess, like I said, veteran leadership type of guy. That can be a dangerous combination, I think. Because the young dudes like Tatum and Brown are just fucking getting after it right now, especially today.
Yeah, he's a great leader. And like you said, in terms of body language, he's fluent.
He can speak the language.
Yeah. If he's filling out some sort of application, they're asking body language, mastery.
Box is checked. There's a check in that box for sure.
Yeah.
And I talked about Jaylen Brown briefly, but I've gone back and forth on Jaylen before. I think Jaylen Brown is that dude as well. And he showed up today. He is that guy who he had a rough first half today. I don't really know the correct vocabulary. Speaking of, fluent, I am whatever is 100 steps higher than the word comfortable with Jaylen Brown kind of taking over in the fourth quarter, because he is just ice cold in certain moments. And, we've seen dunks, we've seen this, but bro, he had some big time threes today, just confidence out the roof. And I think a lot, I don't know if this is, a crazy stretch or anything, but I'm telling you, dude, I think a lot of that confidence comes from some of the stuff he's been doing during the quarantine, with his protests and just, I think he's on a mission this summer to make a name for himself, because he's already out there from everything he's done off the court.
I could definitely agree with that. I think that's just his general, number one, he's a really smart dude, and he carries himself super confidently in all non-basketball things. I think, have you ever seen the videos where he's spoken at Harvard or MIT? I can't remember. But yeah, he's a smart dude. But anyways, I say that to say, he was my opener. But I say that to say, I think it's his general, the way that he carries himself. And yeah, like you said, it's carried to the basketball court. And it's crazy that he's gone from a guy who I was not a fan of the pick at all in 2016. I was like, who the fuck is Jaylen Brown? And what I remember they showed during that draft, it was covered, like for the Celtics wise on the local channels, it was covered at the Garden, and season ticket holders were allowed to be at the event. And Wick Grossbeck was there, and he was getting his dick.
Were you there?
Off. No, but they showed it on TV. But yeah, they got like booed roundly for that pick. And I was just like, yeah, same thing. And he goes from a guy who you probably wouldn't want really taking jumpers and stuff in that season to now being a very legitimate 20 point per game scorer. I think he's clearly like arrived. And second, he's now a clutch player in the fourth. And I'm not even saying that just based off this game, but this whole season, like he hit that three. You remember that crazy three against the Rockets off of the missed free throw at the end of the fourth quarter, send it to overtime. So
I love Jaylen Brown. I think he has I think Jason Tatum's a better player, but I think Jaylen Brown has a different dynamic to him, where I think he has a little, at this time, I think he has a little more of that killer instinct in him, where he will just go after it, dude. Like when he throws down, like he'll throw down and he'll make sure you know about it. You know what I mean? Like crowd or no crowd. And again, I know he had one today. He had one against the Bucks too, right?
Yeah, he had one against the Bucks. He had two today.
That's right. He's dunked on Giannis. He's dunked on LeBron. Like he's trying to tell you, like, listen to me. Like, I'm fucking here. Like, I deserve a 3rd round pick in the draft. let's go. That's why when they were talking, and I don't want to get too into this tangent here, but remember when they were talking about in the offseason options to get guys like Anthony Davis and Kawhi over? And it's like, bro, like, they're just, they were talking about, oh, well, we'll just put a package together. We'll include Brown, maybe Hayward. And it's like, he's not one of those players. Like, I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown for a year of Kawhi Leonard or a year of Anthony Davis. No fucking way. Absolutely not. Because A, he's talented enough that we need him. And B, I think he's the type of player who would take that, put another chip on his shoulder, go to the Spurs, go to the Pelicans, and be an all-star for 10 years, which I think he can do here.
Yeah.
He was an all-star snub this year, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you definitely can't punt on the chance to lock up two guys who are
and I love
22,
punts,
23.
But you can't punt Jaylen Brown.
No.
Can't do it.
You can't pin him 1 yard at the 1 yard line.
No. I don't care if you have Matthew Slater back there ready to catch Jaylen Brown. You're not going to punt him.
No
Terrible play.
No one puts Jaylen in a coffin corner.
No. But okay,
that's what they
cool.
call it, right? Coffin corner.
It is, but they're typically talking about punting a football, not an NBA player. just so we're on the same page. So again, I want to keep this quick. I think we both feel good about today's game. The only thing we didn't mention is they did blow a 25-point lead, but whatever. We can deal with
It was a minor detail.
You
see what the spread was?
Honestly, I did -4.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It was a 4-point game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fucking Vegas, dude. I don't really want to go on to Friday's game against the Bucks. I mean, they played a great team. They lost. They could have won that game. Again, Tatum was basically a DNP. Kemba was limited.
Mm-hmm.
I think with no home court either way, I'm okay playing Milwaukee in a series. I tweeted about this earlier too, bro. Toronto is an interesting team. I think we need a light first round to survive this thing. Like, I don't know who that would be. If we can get lucky and maybe play someone like Brooklyn or something, I don't know if that's even fucking possible. Toronto's going to be a tough series. Milwaukee's going to be a tough series. And then you're in the finals. So it's going to be interesting. I'm almost more excited to just like fast forward through these regular season games to see where we're seated, see who we play and go from there. But I figured like 5 minutes or less. Let's touch quickly on the rest of the league. I had a couple quick thoughts how this thing's played out. First thing I'll say is this is so cool. It's basically like it has like a March Madness feel to it. There's games pretty much every day from 2:00 till 10:00. Not even like 8:30 because there's no West Coast games, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Granted,
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either till literally right now. But those early games are typically Magic Nets, Kings Wizards, like dog shit games.
Yeah, Toledo Mud Hens and the Chicago Flying Saucers.
Toledo Mudheads playing NBA 2K06 in their hotel rooms on Twitch. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's at least cool to pay attention to a game like during the afternoon. The other thing I really wanted to touch on was the fucking Pelicans.
Get into it.
I think the Pelicans are going to go 0-8. Like, they very well could. You can't do I just don't understand why they would bother coming to the like, why would you bother bringing your team to the bubble if you have no intention on going to the playoffs? Like, how do you have Zion on a minutes restriction? And then how do you get fucking smokehoused by the Clippers the next game? The worst thing they could have possibly done is gone 0-1, let alone 0-2. And now it's like, what are we doing? They might still sneak into that 4-game spread, whatever it is, but it's like the Pelicans started the playoffs game 1. And they said, all right, let's take one of our most explosive players and put him on a minutes restriction. And then get smoked out by the Clips.
Dude, and it only took one game for him to, like, I mean, he's fine from what I can see, but who the hell knows when you're 290 pounds, but he like twisted his ankle on someone. Do you see that?
He doesn't have a good history with his feet.
Dude,
he doesn't have a good lower ankle history.
He's got the worst relationship with the rest of his body.
Oh, his upper body and lower body are like trending towards a civil war.
I was about to say it's an open relationship, but no, they're just
It's complicated. For
Very,
sure.
it's got the broken heart on Facebook.
Oh yeah, big time broken heart emoji on Zion Williamson. But I don't know. Besides that, everything else, like I said, the games have been great. That Rockets Mavericks game was insane, way past my bedtime. But I woke up to our mutual favorite player, James Harden, putting up an absurd stat line. But I'm honestly going to assume after one team made a basket, the other team just took their own sort of timeout and just waited to get on offense again. It's just crazy. But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to see how it goes. I think it's proven at this point after at least 2 or 3 games, this 8-game regular season doesn't mean anything. It's basically a preseason. That's why I'm not too upset about Friday, or even, honestly, even if they lost today. The win-loss isn't important. It's basically seeing what this body of work looks like, what the chemistry looks like. So going back to the Celtics, I feel very good about these 2 games. I think, like I said, a lot of good things coming from Kemba, a lot of good things coming from Jaylen Brown. I feel great about Tatum after today. I think Friday was just get it out of my system. It's the worst game I'm ever going to play in my career. Let's move forward. Got a haircut, looking great. And even some of the big, like I think, I didn't mention Hayward. I think Hayward's looked great. I think Hayward is doing exactly what we need him to do. He doesn't do too much. He's not loud. He's not asking for the ball. I think he had 20-something points today, hit some clutch free throws. Jason Hayward. Gordon Hayward is one of the better mid-range players in the league. That's all we need from that position. We don't need Gordon Hayward to be our best player. If he's our 4th best player, I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
If he's getting outplayed by Semi Ojeleye and Brad Wanamaker and Daniel Tice, then that's a problem. But that's not the case so far. And I actually think Daniel Tice has played pretty well as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually even Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart and Gordon Hayward are, a coin flip on who our 4th best player is. And I'm fine with that.
I think Tice, Jalen, and Hayward have probably been the 2 best players so far. The 3 best players so far in the 2 games.
I agree. Tyson's look great. And even Cantor played some solid minutes today. I think he had like 11 and 8. He almost had a double-double. But he also had 2 or 3 like wide open field goals because either Nurkic or Whiteside just fell. Like weren't in the equation. Dude, Nurkic went off today too. He had 30 points. He's nasty. A beast. He is nasty, dude. He is nasty. I also never realized he's Little Dicky's doppelganger. And he also looks like one of the bad guys from Superman 2, from those guys who flew down from like that other planet.
Krypton.
Shout out Nurkic. No, I think I'm feeling good about the Celtics team. I think we have Miami and Brooklyn next. I don't know anything beyond that. Again, record doesn't matter. I think if they go 500, 4-4 in these games, I'm fine with that. If we take if we secure the 3 seed, I'm fine with that. I'm not expecting anything more.
I just hope that the imploding Sixers, they're probably going to take the 6th seed. I just hope that their chemistry is still fucked up like it is. And
it'd be ironic if they somehow took the 7 and the 6 seed because they're the 76ers.
Let that be a foreshadowing to my segment later.
On the All right, cool. Let's roll. I know we have a guest coming on, so again, thanks for riding with us. We're gonna get right into it. We have Griff Kiritsy with us. If you don't know who he is, you know what? The great late Notorious B.I.G. said it best. If you don't know, now you know, brother.
Fella.
But let's rock and roll. Let's go right into the interview, Soup. Here we go.
All right. We're back. This time it's me, Sopee, introducing the guest because, he's a mutual friend of Dan and mine. And I did tease it on social media today. I didn't want anyone to know, but he is nationally known. His reputation precedes him. He's the one and only Griffin Kiritsy of college meme lore. How we doing, Griff?
What's up, Griff?
Doing all right. Still can't outlive the old meme, that's going around, but can't complain, I guess. People sometimes recognize me or send me pictures of myself, which is always fun. So,
is that comforting?
It is a thing. I don't really have any emotion left towards it. I was excited when it first came out. But at this point, I'm in a card game.
I own that card game.
I was,
Wait, you're in that game?
yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm in the game.
It's
you literally
see the card, Dan?
20 feet away from me. I grab it if you want.
Oh my god!
I also have it. Like, I'll go get it if you want.
Actually, I think it's an Ari's car because it's probably an Ari's car from a New Year's Eve party like 3 years ago.
Love that. Yeah. So
great game.
It's
great gift. Great.
I was on Instagram the other day, and the Instagram account UNH Mafia, just whatever that is.
Fuck with them.
Yeah, it was like advice for college incoming freshmen or something, and there was like a post, and they just used my picture for it. Just like, I was like, come on.
So you must be raking in the royalties at least, right?
Oh yeah, no, we tried to monetize it way back, and it wasn't even like I was like, I need to make $1 million off of this or whatever, but we just wanted the rights to the picture, and who created the card game? What do you mean?
Right. It was FuckJerry, I thought.
FuckJerry, yeah. So he DM'd me on Instagram like 5 years ago. And I was like, yeah, am I going to make any money off this? Like, you guys going to pay me any royalties? And he was just like, no, we won't put you in the game.
All right. Fucking dick. False.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was like, that's fine. He has 1,000 memes, and he was just like, here, like, do you want to be in this game? And if not, that's fine too. Like, it's no dirt off my back. And I was like, all right, like, I might as well just agree.
That guy's a scumbag to begin with.
He is.
And I've already unfollowed him, but I'm about to follow him and unfollow him just because of this fucking
so
story.
He knows, right?
Well, seriously. And again, Soap, I know you have a plan here, but in case you weren't planning on asking this, I've always been curious. So let's rewind a little bit. Yeah, the three of us were all around the same age, same graduating class or two, give or take a year, maybe. UNH, University of New Hampshire. Go back to when did you graduate, Griff?
2011 and a half. I did one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So same year pretty much.
Yeah.
So this was your freshman year, correct?
Yes. So
because I guess I'm asking like where I don't even know, like, how did this happen?
Right. So
I think I saw the meme before I really like met you and started like hanging out with you.
Yeah. It was, so it came out, like the meme itself was created just before our senior year. So it was the summer of, in between junior and senior year. And
wait, of high school?
No, of college.
Your senior year, this when that meme came out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that.
So basically what happened was, one of my parents' friends knew a guy who was writing an article for Reader's Digest. This was in the fall of my freshman year. Yeah, I know. A dying breed.
Found in every middle-class family's bathroom for years.
And dentist's office all over the world. No, so, he's like, hey, my friend needs this. He's writing this article about, how technology is affecting people's lives, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, he needs a college student. Do you want to do it? And I was like, sure. Yeah, I was, it was before podcasts and all that good stuff. But the guy just called me and we talked for like an hour and he asked me a bunch of questions and I thought that was the end of it. I was like, okay, I'll be in Reader's Digest. I know that magazine. Like 2 weeks later, this random number calls me like 4 times in a row. And I'm like, click, ignore. Basically, guy, it was a photographer just calling me and being like, hey, I got sent out, like, we got to do some pictures. And I'm like, you can't be serious. I do not want to do this. Like, can we go like off campus? And he was like, no. He brings me, you guys know UNH, obviously, right in front of the library. This was on a Wednesday, like midterm week. So I'm talking, I am sitting there in a UNH hoodie with my Sidekick and headphones not attached to anything. And there is no less than 10,000 people just walking by. My phone is blowing up. Like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting in the middle of campus? So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it goes into Reader's Digest. The caption on the picture was like, college freshman, comma, Griffin Kiritsy, 18, blah, blah, blah. Some unknown amount of years later, somebody typed in the words college freshman because they had an idea for a meme. And they were like, this is it.
Well, wait a minute. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So that picture you took, that wasn't senior year. That was freshman year, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. That's why I was confused. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. So
Gotcha. Maybe honestly, man, I don't even know when I first saw it. Like, and honestly, I don't even think it really clicked.
Right.
I'm trying to think back because it's like when did you? This is more for our local audience, but like when did you guys live like the Rosemary years? That was like junior.
That was
senior
my
year,
senior
right?
year. Yeah. So
senior year. Okay.
I lived off campus junior year and like way out at River's Edge, which
right. Shout out River's Edge.
Yeah. And then senior, but I was there. All of the guys were still there, and Kate and all those, all those people were on the other side junior year. And so I spent most of my time there because River's Edge was horrible and not fun, and nobody liked hanging out.
River's Edge was dope. It was just far away.
Yeah. So yeah, it was in between junior and senior years when the first one like hit the internet streets.
That's so bizarre.
I know.
So
loving.
So how did you? I've just never really thought about it till now. So when did you? So you know what? It reminds me of like when people ask athletes like, "Hey, how'd you heard you got traded?" Oh, I saw it on like fucking Twitter, like everyone else. So like, how did you first find out about like the meme?
So
did your agent call you?
No, it was posted to Reddit. It was posted to Reddit, and I was not like a Reddit guy. I'm still really not. Like if I need help with like, computer issues or whatever, I'll go on Reddit and like, you know what I mean? Like people on there are way smarter than I am. But one of my brother's college roommates, and mind you, my brother went to college in California. Okay. So he sent me and Alex, my brother, a message and was like, "Hey, is this you?"
Is you?
I was like, "Yes. Where did you get a hold of this?" And like, honest to God, a week later, it was on, knowyourmeme.com. There were like 60,000 entries. It was unbelievable. So
interesting.
If you want us to resurrect it and like really bring it back,
sure he does.
I don't know if you want to go viral once again. Let us know. We offer many services on this show.
Well, and Sopee, I'm sorry, and I promise after this question I'll let you do your thing. But no offense, and I guess you wouldn't be offended. You'd probably like to hear this. I never really thought that meme was that funny. Like I never really got it. Like they weren't that good. Like if you like put it in the context of like all the memes that are out, like the cliche memes that are out there,
right?
Most of them are just fucking stupid. Like I think that college freshman meme is kind of lame.
Yeah. So there was only one or two. There were only one or two that I was like, "Holy shit! Like that is funny." Okay. One of them was, late to class, and then the bottom said runs.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's like the main one when you Google it.
In high school, that's what you did. Like you had to run to get to class.
Sure.
At college, nobody.
I've seen Griff running to class.
And then the other one that I loved, it was actually when it started being used with like the jaded college senior. It looks like, the kid in the hoodie drinking a beer.
Yeah. Great guy. I assume you guys all know each other.
Yeah, it's
you bad luck, Brian.
Yeah.
And then the guy doing smirk.
Greg,
scumbag annual Steve. Convention.
No, so it was, it was posted next to that one. And on my side, it said buys all recommended textbooks. And then his was like buys no textbooks or something. Because by senior year, everybody was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to use the internet.
Oh, man. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Do you still have the Sidekick?
No, you know what? I had it when I moved out of college. It was, I had one of those, everybody had like one of those plastic, dressers where you just put all your shit. It was like, Walmart special, like $19.99 and 3 drawers.
Oh, that's a college kid meme in itself.
It's unbelievable.
Packing for college.
A lot of them did apply to me, to be honest with you. But
those are terrific. I still use them in my house. 30 years old.
So that thing just moved around me from place to place after college, as one will. And it was in there for a while, and then I think at some point I just got tired of lugging it around, and I just threw the whole thing in a dumpster, and I realized like later on, like there was a Sidekick.
It's a collector's item. It's worth a lot of money.
Mobile, baby. That thing, I used to flick that thing.
Flick of the wrist.
Oh my God. Yep. It was unbelievable. I'm talking like, people in class would look at me like,
Yo.
stop.
Okay. Did anyone, once it got to the point where it was a meme, did you have people recognize you like out and about?
Yes, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was always uncomfortable, like never a good interaction where I was like, let's be friends. It was always like, hey, you're the guy.
You're that guy.
And I'd be like, that's right. Yes. And they'd be like, that's awesome. And I'd be like, mm-hmm.
Was it like
What else are you
selfie
bringing to this
requests?
conversation, friend?
Like selfie requests type of things, or no?
I think
That was kind of before that time anyway.
Yeah, I know. It was with a sidekick. It's hard to do. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they had to flip around like the snake phone.
Well, but it's like also it's like not for nothing. Like also you were like I don't even know how to put this. Like you were a normal person as well. Like you had actual friends who would like hang out with you and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think like I don't think I've ever seen that meme until it just never connected with me because it's like, oh, that's fucking Griff. Like I know that person. Like I don't know Bad Luck Brian or fucking Brian from Futurama, like the other memes that are like out there.
Yeah.
But no, I've always been curious that as well, like how it happened. I never knew it was such a long time between the photo, which you probably thought was nothing, and then your fucking brother texting you from the other side of the country.
Hey man,
saying, "Hey, have you seen this?
Like,
This is pretty.
Where
funny.
did you get this? I need to know."
That's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Also, how it's like you had no control over it.
Nope.
It's like this is just. I guess this is a thing now.
Yeah, and that was part of like the non-monetizing aspect of it.
Right.
Like the internet had it at that point. Once you're on Reddit,
that's bizarre.
Like, if your picture is getting passed around Reddit, you will never find the source. Number one, and number two, like to try and like rein it in and be like, don't post this image unless you have permission.
Yeah.
No.
So the only real thing was the board game or the card game.
Yeah. I mean, that was the only thing where my like actual image had to be like released. Yeah. So I had to like get a release and sign it.
So you did have to give authorization for them to do that.
Yep. They sent me.
It was just a simple email. Like
through the email, like print it out. Go ahead. I don't care.
That's so weird.
I know.
But again, I get it. Like at that point, you're an adult. It's like this, you're probably like, this isn't worth my fucking. I mean, I'm not going to get into a court battle with these guys.
Much effort. So much effort. Well, it was actually the other side of that spectrum. I was a 21-year-old, a senior in college.
But when the card game came out.
Yeah, after that, like the whole like fan wave had like ridden itself down, and like like I said, it was kind of already on the internet. So, but when it first came out, everybody's like, oh, like get it copyrighted. Don't let anybody use it. And I was like, I don't care. I just want to go to the bar on Monday for trivia and Tuesday for trivia and
Thursday, you're a 20-year-old kid.
You know what I mean? Like I wanted to go, just wanted to go and exist. So it wasn't like wasn't a big deal to me at the time, and now it's just kind of a fun fact. It's so funny. My employer, after I got the job at Liberty, they were like, hey, do you have any like fun facts? Like put it on this intro card. I was like, you guys didn't Google me? I don't know. What are you talking about? How did you not Google me? That's like what everybody threatens. And then they didn't know that I was a meme. So
what about your, go ahead, Soap.
I was just going to say, how many do you put on your like resume / LinkedIn?
I don't.
I assume that's your professional headshot.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
It would be amazing.
When you're like 50.
That would be so good. Yeah. No, like I said, I try to bring it up in a professional setting as little as possible. So.
Well, I actually do have a real question. Didn't you then get re-memed? Like you then took a second picture.
I did.
Explain that one.
Ooh.
Didn't I get re-memed? That's not a thing. Not a thing that you'll hear outside of this exact conversation. But I was an English major. I had a bunch of friends who were, writers for the school paper, and one of them actually is now the writer for the Minnesota Wild for the Athletic. So I thought, he just like texted me and was like, "Hey, we want to do a story like where this is like a thing." And he was like, "Do you have the sweatshirt?" And I was like, "No, it was my sister's and it was ruined." It wasn't my, it wasn't my sister's. It was my sister's boyfriend at the time. And
nice. So it's your sister's
different sweatshirt. Yeah.
My wife still wears my UNH sweatshirt.
Yeah. But the sweatshirt that I got a hold of was Sean's. I know you guys know Sean. And for some reason, he had gotten like a double XL. So I literally look like I'm swimming in that sweatshirt. It's unbelievable. And I tried to pose in the same way, but the camera wasn't as good. The photographer wasn't as good. And so I looked like a big fat load, and I looked like harrowed. Like I looked like I had been through the friggin' ringer. And it was just that like I had a beard instead of like an 18-year-old's freshman face. So
That's hilarious.
yeah, it was.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the sequel.
It was a willing torture, which everybody's like, "Why did you do this?" And I was just like, "I don't know. Why not? Who cares?"
Seriously, that's like the moral of the story. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Not?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just scrolling through some of these right now. I actually think pretty much all of them are funny, and it's obviously because like I put it in the context of knowing Griff and knowing that these things aren't true, but then as I read them, making them true, and I'm like, that's pretty funny. People think
they are. That's the worst is when people are like, "You do this. This is like if I had somebody be like, did you dye all your clothes pink?" And I was like, what are you talking about? Like nobody, like none of my friends are writing like, about me. This is about like blanket statement college freshman. So
absolutely,
it was,
That's so bizarre. What a crazy
Internet's a weird place, man.
Internet is a weird place, man. Maybe hold on. Maybe I'm still a little lost between. So was there the Reader's Digest article? Was there anything that came out of that? Or is that just like whatever?
Just a regular old article in Reader's Digest, talking about like technology being integrated into people's lives. It was like me, like a salesman or something like that.
Meanwhile, you're just texting like 21-year-olds to get beer for the weekend.
Yeah,
your sidekick.
Texting my sister like, "Hey, I need a 30."
Oh, so wait a minute. You were interviewed for the story though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So there was a column written.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. So the three.
I guarantee that article is at my parents' house somewhere, stashed away in their collection of RDs.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, no free ads.
No.
Sorry, RD.
My mom has a copy of it. Look, you're in here. Like, just.
Tell me it's not like framed like on the wall,
a
plaque.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Well, that's a good point. How do your parents how does your family receive all this stuff? Just like this.
Luckily, nobody knows. Like, obviously, all of my friends know, and my siblings know, and my parents know. But nobody would talk to my brother and be like, "Hey, isn't your brother the guy from the thing?"
You're that guy.
Yeah, you're the creepy guy. No, no, nobody associates them with it, which is kind of a little blessing in disguise. But especially my last name is pretty unique, so is what it is.
Right. I will say this. I think, and again, this is no offense to you, I think it's kind of filtered its way out. It's not like one of the more popular memes.
It's not a mainstream meme.
Definitely not mainstream.
Mainstream meme now.
Huh. You had a good run, buddy. I don't know what else to tell you.
What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do?
Win some, you lose some.
Dan, as
rise and fall of it's a classic celebrity rise and fall story.
Mm-hmm.
Classic trope.
Classic, Shakespearean tale. The rise and fall. Yo.
Dan, if you wouldn't mind, could you, as a last tidbit to this topic, could you read the one that I just sent to you?
Yeah. So let's see. Our producer, I got our producer in our ear right now. He's asking. We got a break soon. He's telling us. So the UNH Griff meme. Professor tells personal story. Furiously scribes notes. That is a pretty good one. Most of them I just don't get. Most of them are stupid. The running one is funny, but there were a lot of them about weed too. It's I'm a huge partier. Chokes on his first hit of a joint, something stupid like that. And it's not for nothing. That is how freshman year goes. Freshman year is not a good look.
Yeah.
To take it back to sport, we were talking earlier about the Celtics, the first two games. Friday night was, from Jason Tatum's perspective, that was freshman year in a nutshell. You know what the fuck you're doing. You shoot your shot and you miss most of them.
Yep.
And then you come back next year and you got a year of experience and you put up some numbers, but.
Yeah.
No, I think I think it's just so funny. It's just such a small world. every time like someone, not every time, but I've like, well, first of all, I've played that game with like family and cousins and shit like that. And I was like, oh, like I know that person. Some people are like, oh, like whatever. Some people are like, oh, you know that person. Like he must be rich.
So that's how you got this house.
What is he? Can I have his autograph? It's like, I guess. I don't have his autograph. But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Well, that wraps topic 1, but it weaves perfectly into topic 2 because there are two aspects of that meme story. Number 1, you've been viral. Number 2, you said you're an English major, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and you also like basketball.
I do. Very much.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tie these 3 things together.
I cannot wait to find out the web that you have weaved here. I don't understand how these things are all related. My major, the meme, and basketball, but we're gonna find out. The beautiful mind of Sopee.
So one of the bits that we have on this show, I shouldn't call it a bit. I try to write headlines and hope that they go viral, like the New York Post, like sees my thoughts and they use them. And as an English major / someone who's gone viral, who also likes basketball, I've written some headlines about so there's 22 teams that are in the bubble right now.
Right.
I've written a headline for every single one of them if they win the title this year.
Perfect. Great.
And I want
proofreading.
All right. Speaking of memes, all right, I'm gonna head out.
Dan's just sipping on tea. So no, I'm just gonna I want to read these entries and I want the honest response / I guess grading from both you guys.
Okay.
Specifically you, Griff, since you have experience in the
I know what it takes. Yeah, I get you. I know which one will hit.
Yeah.
And then you can put some money on that team, right? So that when they win and you go viral, it's because of this segment.
It's us going viral.
Can you bet on future headlines in media?
We're going to find out. I'll tell you that.
I'm going to lose a lot of money, but we're going to find out. Go ahead. So what do you got?
All right. So this is in no particular order, but this is all 22 teams.
So wait, are we supposed to like guess what team you're talking about?
No, we won't do you don't guess because some of them have the team name in the headline, but you'll see what I'm doing. Just kind of grade it, react to it.
Go ahead.
I'll go 1 through 10. I'll go 1 through 10. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
Do whatever you want, Sopee.
So let's say the Pacers win the title this year. Who's your daddy?
Yep. I'd read it.
All right. I'm going to withhold. Just because I want to see, like, if that was your A material, I don't want to come out of the gate with, like, a 9.
Hope not.
That's
true. If it's a C material, I want to be able to, a 5 versus an 8.
Yeah, I'm more mid-range.
Okay.
Like 5.
All right.
That's interesting.
Okay. Our favorite team, the Celtics, if they win the title. Luck of the virus.
Oh, God. That's ballsy.
All right, 2. That's
Irish
rhyming with Irish. I get it, but it's not great because people are going to be like, virus, not good.
Questionable. Okay. The Clippers win. The Clippers win. You're familiar with the Lou Williams story?
The chicken wings and strippers and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That Lou Williams story.
All we do is wings.
I like it, but I feel like that's going to probably be played out by the time this happens.
Yeah, that's a little bit, flash in the pan type, that story. I feel like. And
I feel like there's some other players on that team that probably will outshine Lou Williams.
Agreed. He's 3rd or 4th fiddle there. So I like the idea, but if they won the title like the week of the witty, I was going to say wings and titties. And it came out.
Witties.
You guys want to go get some witties?
Yes.
I think that if it was closer to the finals and then they won, it'd be great. So I'll go 4 out of 10 there.
Okay.
I would challenge you to maybe position it something more like, and you're the expert in this, Sopee. LeBron stripped of his latest title contention opportunity.
I do like that. All right.
Also, can anyone here picture Kawhi Leonard at a strip club?
I've seen it. Have you seen the video?
No.
There's a video of him getting a lap dance, and it's very robotic. Yeah. It was like
answer his debit card. Thank you for your service.
Hey, you got Cash App? What's your at? What's your Venmo at?
Climax achieved.
Thank you for dance.
All right.
Go ahead, Soap.
Memphis.
Not bad.
Memphis. Brr. Grizzlies finally break the ice in awkward silence surrounding their title drought.
No, that's terrible. I think you're thinking of polar bears.
That reminds me of Parks and Rec, with Shauna Malway tweet and Leslie's trying to give her headlines, and they're 40 words long.
Oh, yeah. Great call. No, that's the worst one so far. I don't follow.
Okay, I thought that was some of my better work. All right, New Orleans. Scrappy bunch from the Big Easy proves that they're Pelicans, not Pelicants.
Again, Pelican would just be a fine headline. Just leave it at that.
Imagine that being on the page of the New York Post. The text is size 12.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's a Manish Mehta special. All right.
All right. I like the play on words. Pelicans, Pelicant. 5 out of 10. 2 on.
Good range.
Okay. Brooklyn. Storied hip hop history. You both would agree?
Yes.
Okay. Brooklyn. Notorious B.I. Garrett Temple hits 3 to clinch 2020 crown.
I hate it.
One.
I would not buy that paper. That's like the opposite of clickbait.
Garrett Temple's not even starting. Chris Chiozza is starting.
I don't know.
WNBA player. They like plucked him from like Tajikistan. Like here's the starting guard for the Nets.
That one's tough, buddy.
Oh my God.
All right. I guess you guys aren't getting your news then.
Guess not.
2 out of 10. Not your worst one yet, but very close.
Milwaukee. Title favorites.
Guaranteed.
Greek freak takes them to the promised lamb.
Just because the Greeks like lamb.
I like the lamb play. I think you can do better with it though. Griff, you would know better than any of us.
Greek.
As an expert Greek. As a Greek beat writer.
Easter, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Celebrates Easter on his own.
Yep. The Larry O'Brien Trophy has risen in Milwaukee.
Okay. Again, I feel like you guys are being. Wait, what did you score that one, Griff?
6.
All right, we're getting
Rookie
there.
score.
Man, this is tough. Toronto, the 2 seed right now.
Yeah.
How about a 12-month maple lease on that trophy?
I don't think that'd be a good one for the Toronto Maple Leafs, let alone the Toronto Raptors. Come on, so that's disappointing.
Anything with a dinosaur at all.
Oh, seriously, that's so disappointing.
Or like back to back,
garbage.
like Kawhi, no more.
Something.
Saying, you know what I mean? Like, Kawhi don't need your help. Like we can do it ourselves.
Yep. Kawhi, we don't need you anymore. Raptors win back-to-back titles. That was poor. Come on, Soap. I was actually looking forward to the Raptors one.
Listen, I was trying to incorporate like everything with these cities, so I feel like I should be rewarded more for that using a hockey reference.
If that was like a Toronto local paper and they snatched up that headline, they might appreciate it a little bit.
Not for the Raptors though. Maybe for the Maple Leafs. Are Toronto Maple Leafs good this year, Griff? You follow hockey.
They are.
Are they in the whatever is happening?
Playoff hunt. I don't know. All I care about is that the Bruins are the 1 seed, and they have looked like absolute hot, wet garbage the first 2 games of their roundabout.
Hot take.
Yeah, they look awful.
They lose today?
Yeah, like 5-1, 4-1, something like that.
Wasn't great. I saw.
Sounds like the Red Sox.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Sopee, you're not.
I could spend my entire time on this podcast just bashing the Red Sox. That's it. Like I could spend.
I'd like to do that at some point
here. I know. If you guys ever have that planned, call me because I have a lot to say.
Good news is we could probably do that at any time during the season.
Yeah, I know. The season's like a fifth of the way over already. Thank God, because it's a dumpster fire.
That's crazy. That's true, but that's crazy. Sopee, go ahead. Let's run through these. I would like to talk about the Red Sox, maybe. Go ahead.
All right.
Tell me you got something good.
We were just in Toronto. I guess we're gonna fly south now, and just in case the Miami Herald needs my help, when the temp hits 103, I cool off with my Larry OB.
These are not getting better
No.
in any sense of the word. Be better.
Yeah.
Tom
All
Cameron.
right. Come on, hit us with the highlights.
All right.
Give me a good one. That's a 1.
Late, what do you got
Philadelphia.
for late? Go ahead. Philadelphia.
You've heard of trust the process? How about trust the bench press as Ben Simmons lifts the Larry O'Brien trophy high above his head in celebration?
Couldn't even get through it. Couldn't even get it out. Oh. Well, I honestly, like, if you had done just a lot better job of the trust the process.
You started out, I was
really
intrigued.
good.
You got me.
I was ready.
You got me on the hook.
Amazing. Glad you dumped us back into the.
No, that one stunk. That's that's less than 5.
Stinky.
That's
All right. This one I think stinks, and I think you guys are going to like it.
Perfect.
Orlando.
All ears.
Orlando trades in mouse ears for human rings.
No, I don't know why you think I would like it. I think it stinks.
Why did you say human? No other animal.
I'd also like you to give us an idea of what the thumbnail picture would look like next to all these headlines.
Human rings.
That one specifically. Oof.
Imagine a mouse.
That just
with
doesn't
a
make any
fucking
sense.
ring on.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the worst one.
You
I
take
think.
off the Disney Mickey Mouse ears.
Right.
You trade
Mouse
those
ears
in.
You understand, like,
good.
you don't have to make that sort of sacrifice to win the championship.
Imagine they just.
I
come
don't
out-
think. I
They
don't
come
know.
out in their 8 playing games and they're all wearing the Disney ears.
That'd be kind of cool.
Same here.
Okay.
That would be cool if they were like good. Like if it was like Pat, Shaq, and Penny, and they came out with like Mickey ears on, that'd be dope. Unfortunately, the Magic stink.
Or like alternate unis like based on like Disney. That'd be lit.
Or just like full on Disney character uniforms like at the park.
Robin Hood, Peter Pan and shit. No. So honestly, I'm giving this one 2 scores. Without the word human in there, it's like a 6.5 or a 7. With the human ring thing, really creepy, super uncomfortable, like 3, 2 tops, like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is, you guys are eating right out of my hand because I knew that you would think that those sucked, which is why I saved these best 10 for last.
I sure hope so. Go ahead.
All right. Portland, team the Celtics just played.
Correct.
They're sometimes referred to in abbreviation as the Blazers, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That
you
is
are
correct. Yeah.
Call them the appraisers because they simply couldn't afford to lose.
I hate it.
0.
That one is a 0. Legit 0.
Off the scale.
But dude, you butchered the delivery, first of all. The headline itself stinks.
NA on that score.
Oh,
Move on.
that's like a Michael Scott like delivery. That's garbage.
Fine. All right.
Just move on.
Next
please.
one, Utah. Things get meteorologic and religious here as the Storm and Mormons made quick work of the 2020 postseason.
I don't understand.
Didn't mention the Jazz.
No.
No music.
That's more like a Houston
they're singing
Rockets
a new
one.
tune in Utah as the Jazz bring home the title. Off the
Oof, buddy, I would not quit your day job if you're looking to get into headline writing. Hit us with like, do you have like a top 3?
Yeah,
or like
what
top
are your
4?
3?
Like top
Yeah.
2?
I legitimately think that the like 6 that I have left are
All right.
awesome.
Quickly. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Houston.
Yeah.
Houston.
No
More
problem.
like the Houston Sockets, the way they plugged Westbrook in and marched straight to playoff success.
4. I don't hate it, but like.
Yeah, not bad. Not
Okay.
bad. Better. Keep going.
Going
You're
patriot.
heating up.
Going patriotic here.
Lift off in Houston.
Yeah.
Rockets bring home the title.
Yeah.
That's too simple. Too simple. I need a reason to read it. All right. This one is a little patriotic for Oklahoma City Thunder.
Of course.
Okay, can you see? The Thunder claims their first title, whether you like it or not.
It's better than I don't know. I don't know. I guess.
Okay, can you see? Like, unless somebody knows to sing it in that
Right.
tune, somebody's reading, like an 80-year-old man is reading the sports section. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
Oh. Oh. I don't know. I don't like to think with my headlines.
No. Just get me right to the point.
Yep.
Keep going.
Funny you say that, because
Yeah,
this
I
next
guess.
one, Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
No Mark Cuban whistle crisis here, as referees are no match for 2020 champion Dallas Mavericks.
I like that one.
That's not bad. That's
I like that one.
smart.
Look at the shot. Did you see the shock on Sophie's face just now? Oh my God.
You liked it?
I got one.
All right. You got one.
boys.
Okay.
He's coming back.
7.
Go
That's
ahead.
a 7.
Stay hot.
San
Go ahead.
Antonio. I have 2 for them.
All right. Great.
Is Larry O'Brien going to have to Popovich?
That's a good one. I like that one. It has nothing to do with winning a title, but I like that one.
10.
That's more of like, that's a good tweet. Terrible headline.
Opposite.
Yeah.
And 99 problems, Popovich ain't one.
Again,
That one's good. 9.
I have no idea what the article is about to be about, but
Right.
I think that's pretty funny.
The Lakers. The king and the brow are clearly the cat's meow.
Mm-hmm. Everybody
bad.
Everybody still uses that saying. That's for sure.
That's a good headline for like when they signed Anthony Davis, or like if they're off to a good start.
Mm-hmm.
I'd fuck it. I don't know, Sopee. I sure. I think it's
6.
great.
6
Yeah.
out of 10.
Definitely.
Okay.
Who
Washington.
the hell is left? Well, of course.
I don't want to do the Wizards.
No, these guys have a chance.
Okay. They stink.
Washington.
Yeah.
Nothing lowercase about these guys from the capital city. Wizards cast the spell on the rest of the league on their way to victory.
That's the
Pick
sub-
one. Pick one.
That's the
Those are
sub-headline.
yeah. Those are 2 pretty good headlines.
That's the byline. Like it's like no lowercase letters in the capital city. Lower headline.
Yeah.
Wizards casting spells.
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
Sacramento. I feel like you guys are going to love this one, and I hate it. The NBA crowns its royal team.
That's a good headline. That's actually a good headline.
Tremendous. Yep. That's a 10 out
NBA
of 10.
royalty something. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but it's a great headline.
They stink too.
They really stink.
2
Who
more.
the fuck is left? Jesus Christ. Who's left? I'm trying to think. Think, Griff. Give us bonus
we did
points. if we
yeah,
can.
I don't know. Go ahead. I
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
don't even
sorry.
want to think.
Life's limited.
There's one west and one east, isn't there?
Oh, Nuggets, Denver,
Nuggets.
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Put this in your pipe and smoke it, Denver. You've won the championship.
I guarantee that's better than Soapy's. Go ahead, Soap. What's Denver?
Okay, Denver. I'll take a side of popped champagne with my 6-piece Happy Meal.
6-piece nugget. Just say nugget.
No, I don't want to say the word. You can't. That's like defining a word using the word. Oh, no, did Dan freeze? Daniel?
Here you go.
All right. That's really unfortunate because
this is the one.
I had one more for him.
Give it to me.
All right. Yeah, Dan just says move on. All right. Final one. Phoenix. We talking about cactus, man.
So specific. Number one. Okay. Owen Iverson did that speech 20 years ago. Number two, did not play for the Suns at any point in his career. And number three, it's like a very, very, very specific headline to like people in the age bracket of like 29 to like 41 who liked the NBA in 2001. Like that's exactly the person that you're catering to.
Yeah, you just described the New York Post most popular demographic. Everyone knows. Everyone our age reads the newspaper and not the internet.
Right.
Ah, man.
All right. Because I thought it was funny, but oddly specific, 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Your median was like a 4.5, so we got work to do there on the headline game.
I don't know if you remember any of them specifically. Did you have a personal favorite? And
you know what's really funny? Who's Your Daddy was the best one, bar none. And it was the first one, and I thought it was good, and unfortunately everything was downhill from there. So that was my favorite one, is Who's Your Daddy if Indiana wins.
So Dan, for the audio listeners, Dan froze for a second and now he's back.
Sorry about that.
So I want to hit him with the final one.
All right, go ahead quickly.
It was Phoenix.
Phoenix, that was the other one. Yep.
We talking about cactus, man.
Not bad. Not bad.
Listen,
give that a numeric score.
It was super specific, and Allen Iverson never played for the Suns. So it has to be like somebody who likes the Suns and also knew about that speech from 2001.
I don't know. 3.7. I don't know. I don't after this. I don't know, buddy.
Well, that's a wrap on that segment.
That was awesome.
Griff, thoughts on the Red Sox?
My biggest thing, like I was talking to one of my buddies and he was like, position players aren't going to win you a World Series on their own. Like you have to have pitching. And I was like, totally agree.
Take.
Totally agree. Like Trout hasn't done it. Bryce Harper hasn't done it. Totally agree with that. I have no problem with that statement. If the Red Sox had bettered their pitching staff by getting rid of the second best player in the major leagues, they did not. They just
got rid of him for free.
It was the worst. It is the worst pitching staff ever assembled in a major league team.
I don't know the pitching staff.
It's Nate Eovaldi,
and the other guys.
And I don't care. And a bunch of relievers who just go out there and throw a couple innings. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like Erod has COVID. He's done for the year.
Yep.
Chris Sale is a Skeletor and weighs 115 pounds.
He doesn't look well.
He's like Jim from The Office. Like you're 6'11", you weigh 90 pounds. Gumbo has a better body. Gumby has a better body.
Boom roasted.
Boom roasted.
Yep.
And then it's literally people I've never heard of in my life. I can't. I don't know one other pitcher on the roster other than Nick Workman.
Weber. Is that someone's last name?
Yep.
Here's the ball. Go pitch against the Yankees.
You're on Sunday Night Baseball, pal.
It's like fucking what's that movie? Rookie of the Year, Henry Rollingardner. Yeah. Hey kid, grab a bat. You're in. I'm in.
He literally has like a 14 ERA.
That's not bad.
Just like,
that's pretty good.
Go ahead. Keep going out there. You're telling me our minor league system has no starting pitchers?
Yeah. Good call on Mookie, though. It's like, who do you think's the biggest name from the Mookie deal? Verdugo?
Has to be. They didn't even get Gratterall. I know. He doesn't even play.
Right.
He's not even a freaking starter.
Dude, I heard today Benintendi has 10 strikeouts this year in like less than 10 games. That's not great. Not a great ratio.
Yeah, he was hitting, when I looked last, he was hitting like 112.
Good grief.
Just like 2 hits.
That's not great.
No.
Couple of hits.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like that first game was so promising.
It was awesome. It was great.
But unless Nathan Eovaldi can pitch on 6 hours rest, I don't understand how they can do it. I don't know. It's like, and it sucks too because baseball is different from all the other sports in the sense like if the Patriots stink, it's like, great, we have the number 1 pick in the draft. Baseball draft's irrelevant. No one cares. Because the guy you take next year might not play for another 10 years. So there's really no silver lining. Like if the Patriots stink and somehow go like 2-14,
yeah,
I'll take that. That's great. We get Trevor Lawrence. We get someone.
Right.
Baseball is just like, this is it. This stinks. And you're going to stink for a while.
Well, and so the other point that, you know, he was making was like, oh, they don't want to pay him all that money. And I'm like, they literally print money. They print money.
There's no salary cap. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
They own a NASCAR team, they own a Premier League team, and they own the Red Sox, which is the 4th richest franchise in the majors. And they don't want to pay into the luxury tax. Like,
why don't you think is that the main reason you think?
That's what they were trying to sell us as fans.
What do you think?
Like, I think it's a load of shit. I think that they're cheap. You know.
But it's different because it's like, it's not like any other, like salary cap's a salary cap where it's a, you know, I don't want to pay you this because then I have to pay this person less. Right. Baseball, it's just an open market. It's a free for all.
100%.
You know, Mike Trout got this, Bryce Harper got this, Manny Machado got this.
Yep.
Why? You know what I mean?
He was like,
and it's not a fault to Mookie.
Right.
It's like, hey, if this guy's getting this, I should get this. Yep. You're not going to pay me that. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. And I don't blame him for, you know, saying the stuff that he said. Like, I want to test free agency. I want to know like what I'm worth, all that stuff. I don't think he did anything wrong by any stretch of the imagination. But you know, we have thrown money at some very, 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 very bad players.
Carl Crawford.
Past their prime. Carl Crawford. Adrian Gonzalez was past his prime. Bryce is, you know, has not been worth $30 million a year. Like, just bad. It's just not good. And we just signed Chris Young 2 years ago to a lifetime contract, I think, for $100 billion. So
those like baseball contracts are so absurd. Like they don't even mean anything. Like,
no.
Like, hey, I'm going to sign you for 20 years.
Money.
Me and Soap talked about this before. I remember the A-Rod Rangers deal was the first time when it was like,
and for 300,
this doesn't make sense.
Right.
It was like a 20-year deal for like something.
Yeah.
It was like, you're telling me this guy's just going to contractually be here for 20 years? No fucking chance.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the Yankees first chance he gets.
Yeah.
And then the first chance he gets, he goes to the Yankees.
Yeah. And, you know.
What are we doing?
It's like the Red Sox can operate like the Yankees because of their finances. They have that ability. And they are choosing to operate like the Tampa Bay Rays, who – you can drive past that stadium on game day and like walk in like the 4th inning, get a front row seat for like $50.
I've literally done that.
Wild. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
So you could do that and play in the game.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That costs $75.
Yeah.
For 120, you can hit the portal.
I know it's like a shortened season and it's like anything can happen, but I hate to say it. How many games have they played? Like 10?
Yeah,
they played what, 3 series?
10. Yeah.
Baltimore, Mets, and the Yankees.
Yep.
I've seen what I need to see. Like, there's nothing going to happen. I have no reason.
They stink. Yeah.
They stink.
They stink.
They big stink. Awful. And you nailed it. Like, if our hitting was slightly above average, okay, maybe we have a chance in some of these games. If we don't score 12 runs a game, we have no chance of winning, and that's certainly not going to happen. So
right, and like
very disappointing.
The fun part about that is that the guys that are in the lineup are all good hitters. Like, we're not missing any of our good hitters.
They have a good lineup.
Like 1 through 6 is good.
Yep.
And you should be able to win with a lineup like we have, and we just can't.
You should be able to score 5 or 6 runs a game.
100%.
I can't.
And we're down. I mean,
it certainly doesn't help when you give up 10. But
we're down like 4-0 after the second inning, and it's just like, oh great.
God, you stink.
That's the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
What is the score right? Oh, it's 5-5. Keeping it close.
Who's starting
the fourth?
Well, yeah, we'll shoot out
Rolling
going on.
Gardner. Yeah.
Ooh, no. Matt Hall with his 15.43 ERA. That's 2 innings pitched.
That's like an NBA scoring average.
5 earned
That's
runs.
absurd. That's absurd.
Wait, that was the Red Sox starting pitcher?
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, no.
God. I really would love to hear the pep talk. Like, it's okay, son. It's three strikes per hitter, 3 outs an inning, and there's only 9 innings, so
we're golden.
Knock some out.
We had an opener tonight, since that's a term that we have to now familiarize ourselves with. It's the word opener.
An opening
some
act.
Idiot came up with it down in Tampa. He actually pitched 1 inning, lowered his ERA to, let's find out here, 6.35. He didn't give up any runs, but then I think and I only saw this on PTI the other day, no plugs, on ESPN. A stretch guy is what they call him. It's a reliever who can go 3 to 4 innings. He's given up 5 runs in 2 innings pitched. So
I think in the World Series year, Alex Cora used to, what the hell did he called it a rover? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, where the fuck are these terms coming from?
Isn't that what Evaldi did that year?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and he just pitched wherever they needed like outs. Like just go and pitch, and maybe you go 6 like he did in the 15-inning game, or maybe you go 1.5.
Yeah, didn't he as a reliever throw like 100 pitches in that game?
Yeah, it was like 120. It was unbelievable.
I get it. It was the World Series, so.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to do this. I have to jump off soon, but I figured we'd ask you this, Griff, because I know you're a big Office guy as well. The TV show, not like just a guy around your office, because offices don't exist anymore.
It's awesome.
Sopee and I have had this conversation before. Speaking of sports and baseball stats, and I'd be curious to hear your opinion. I think Michael Scott has the greatest WAR of all time when it comes to TV shows, as in wins above replacement.
Yep.
As in, when you take Michael Scott out of The Office, what it does to the overall product and the overall vibe to the show. How do you feel about that statement?
I agree. And I don't think that the drop-off of losing Michael is huge. Like it's
night and day.
character.
Yep. It's a different show.
But what happened with the dynamic of Jim, Dwight, and Pam, they became infinitely funnier. Like the fact that Dwight thinks that Pam is his literal best friend. Jim becoming boss, and then Dwight becoming boss and shooting the floor with his 1930s pistol, whatever it was. I thought that dynamic got even stronger because Michael wasn't in between Dwight and Jim and blah blah blah. But I agree. I think that Michael Scott leaving that show, I mean, I love Robert California in that he is different.
Me too. I love Robert California. I think he's a great character.
The line, but you're right. Like the wins above replacement is the standard is so high that it is impossible for him to gain any traction. But he, when he, Andy tries to blackmail him and he goes, I'm the fucking Lizard King. You don't even know my real name. I lost it the first time I saw that. I paused my television, did a lap around the house. It was one of the funniest lines from that series. It was amazing.
Robert California is incredible. And I think the best Robert California episode of all time is the party at his house when he's trying to sell his house. And he plays it off the whole day. It's not a party. It's just a small get together. And they're all at his house, drinking wine in the pool. And then he has that great line. This isn't a get together. Starts taking off his clothes. This is a party.
Party.
Just jumps in the pool. Robert California is great, but they tried to bring in Will Ferrell. That was a huge flop. That was not a huge flop. It was disappointing. D'Angelo Vickers was disappointing.
Yeah.
And it sucks. We talked about this too. Their opening scene is fantastic when they meet at the hotel bar.
Mhm.
That's a great scene.
Oh, I was like, hey, are you here? And you were like, hey.
You know, I've always wanted to try the luge. Try it once, you're hooked. At least that's what I think.
At least that's what I've heard or whatever he says.
Everyone I know who skis is dead.
Yeah. He
And
did
then
have
it just
some
went
very good
downhill.
one-liners, but
yeah, I think like season 8. When did Michael leave? Like second half of season 8? It was in mid-season.
no, I think
Or was
That
it
was
second?
second half of season
right
7.
at the end of 7.
Okay, so 8
Yeah.
and 9 were completely non-Michael. But
Yeah.
anyway, we had a conversation for like different TV characters. I just think Michael Scott is the perfect TV. Like he works well with any scenario, and he can carry a scene with any character, any dynamic. And I've also said, like, I think the more farther out of his comfort level he is, the better the character. Like, for example, when he's like shooting the shit with the warehouse guys, or like a great scene in episode is like the deposition with Jan and Toby and David Wallace, or the negotiation episode is fantastic. When he's doing like negotiation things with Daryl and then goes down to meet with Jan. But it's just nice to get someone to put some respect on Michael Scott's name.
Yeah. Why does Sopee not agree?
No, he does.
No, I agree.
I think, right?
Good.
Yeah.
But I know you're an Office guy, so I at least wanted to touch on it at some point.
One of the best scenes is when Daryl is teaching Michael like slang.
What did he
The
give
only like phrase I remember is Dinkenflicka.
That's when one of you gotta say.
And I tweeted about this before. The Office came out in season 3 and released the negotiation episode and then the safety protocol episode back to back, and it's like just back to back home runs. The safety awareness episode is when Michael's down and Daryl's trying to give him the conversation about like the Baylor. And shout out another incredible side character who doesn't get much respect is Patrice O'Neal's character as well as the Office. Patrice O'Neal and Hank, the security guard, are two
Hank's amazing.
Hank's
amazing. Hank is amazing. When he
we're so underappreciated.
When they have the budget surplus and they
exactly
to pick between the printer and
let me see the copier again.
Get out of here.
Not much lumbar support. Oh, so the copier. No, you didn't let me finish. And then the guy died, actually, like a year ago.
Did he really?
The real guy died. Hank.
Yeah.
Hank is a fictional character. But the actor who portrayed him is dead. And then
they have obits for the fictional characters like after the fact. Like,
Hank.
Believe it or not, Toby Flenderson was skydiving in Costa Rica. He went back, and this time he didn't survive.
There's a
hasn't
headline
been confirmed yet.
What?
Yeah.
We don't know if he's made it or not. It's not confirmed.
Up in the air.
Or denied.
Was that a good headline or was that bad?
Wow.
I wanted on his feedback.
What on what phrase?
My Toby Flenderson headline, was it good or bad?
Oh well, I thought you meant the pun up in the air.
Oh, see, that's next level. I didn't even think about that.
Which is a great headline. The previous one that you mean, that was too long.
That's fair. I'll take that.
All right. Well, I need to hop off. Are we gonna wrap this up, Sopee, or do you have a couple extra questions?
No, I've had enough of Griff.
I do. Griff, open invite anytime you want to come on, but the meme king himself. This has been a great conversation. Griff, where can people find you online?
If you want
great
to
Twitter follow, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to follow my Twitter, that's where I do all my best work. My wife thinks I'm a loser. She doesn't think any of my tweets are funny, but it's just at GTK18.
Excellent.
I think I'm hilarious. I think Sopee thinks I'm hilarious. I think Sopee's hilarious. We have a great Twitter relationship.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, if you want to follow me, go ahead. I don't post any memes of myself, so that's always a positive. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, my Instagram is like my dog and my wife and like nature and golf, so nobody wants to follow that.
I'm sold. I mean, that's a headline right there. That's better than any of the bullshit he's come up with as far as headlines go. But all right, cool. Griff, good shit, man. Thanks for hopping on. We'll get you back soon. I'd love to get you back soon, actually, once the Celtics get going.
Yeah.
I assume there's no point in continuing once the Red Sox get going, but perhaps there's a small chance we actually have a football. Yeah, we might actually have a football season, believe it or not. I think the Patriots literally have to employ a certain amount of employees to have a season. I'd be curious to see if they hit that number.
They're at the salary floor, as they say.
We literally don't have enough players to show up. Sorry, they're all opting out. But no, man, we'll get you next time soon. Everyone else, thanks for hopping on, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Later.